Hello and welcome to the Spring 2019 Car Jump Arena Championship Finals. I'm your host, davidinark. Welcome to the show. We've got an incredible competition headed your way. We have narrowed it down from a field of more than 230 vehicles that come with BeamNG drive. We've narrowed it down to the top 8 cars who have been flinging themselves off of the Car Jump Arena to see which vehicle can travel the farthest. We have narrowed it down to the top 8. The first seed in the competition is the 200BX Demon, who has shown itself to fly more than 500 meters. That's literally off the charts. It is off the track, and that is going to be quite a feat to see today if it can maintain that type of distance. The second seed is the Moonhawk Dragster, and it also is able to fly past that 500 meter mark. Will it be able to continue that today? We will find out. Third seed is the Burnside Dragster. Then fourth seed, we've got the K-Series KC6TX Race Day. We've got the Pessima 80s Track in fifth seed. The 200BX Track Edition is sixth. The I-Series Nullheart is seventh. And the Barstow Dragster bringing up the final 8 here in the Car Jump Arena Championship competition. Here we go. The first matchup is between the 80s Pessima Track Edition on your left and the KC6TX Track Edition. That's right. It's the K-Series Track Edition. That's on your right. The K-Series Track Edition on your right placed 4th in the preliminaries, and the Pessima Track version on your left placed 5th in the preliminary round. So the way this works is we will take each vehicle, pair them up with their particular bracket partner, and we'll send them over the Car Jump Arena. Each vehicle will get 2 heats. They will take turns, so we will get to see a lot of car jump action here today. Kicking things off, the 80s Pessima Track Edition. If you're new to the series, first of all, thank you very much for watching. I'm davidinark. I don't think I even said that. I don't know. Anyway, I hold the accelerator, let this puppy fly. When it gets to the end, I let go, and then as it flies down, when it gets close to landing, we slow things down, and then we see where they land. And it's all about where the tire land. Well, actually, it's any part of the vehicle, whatever part of the vehicle lands first. In this case, it happened to be the tire. Wherever it lands, then we take the measurement from the nose of the vehicle, and that's where we measure things off. The way this works is that each of these lines is roughly 10 meters apart. And so this here is the 450 mark. That's 460. This is 470. And this is about the 465 mark. So we're going to say that is about a 466. To kick things off here, the Pessima Track Edition gets a 466 for its first heat here in the Car Jump Arena, and ends up in the pool. Now, one of the things that you may have noticed in that little sequence there are these orange markers. And that is because the Car Jump Arena ends at 500 meters. And, well, we've got cars that'll go further than that. So each of these is based on these markers here. The center should be 10 meters apart. And we've got, so it's 500, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So it goes out to 580. And frankly, if anything goes longer than that, then we'll just figure it out from there. Okay, so there you go. So the 80s Pessima kicks things off with a 466. And now we will switch over to the K-Series Track Edition. And again, we're just going to send this bad boy flying down the ramp. My goal is to just try to maintain control of the vehicle, give each vehicle the fairest opportunity that it can have, and then we let go, let this bad boy fly. This dude is gone. He's about to land. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he's getting close. There it is. He lands right there. And we are looking here at a 470. I'm going to call that a 475. That's okay, camera. What are you doing to me? All right, we've got the flyover cameraman evidently was doing a little celebrating before the match. So would you quit that? There. All right. We're going to call that a 475 to the front end of the vehicle. So the K-Series Track Edition kicks things off with a 475, just barely nosing out the 80s Pessima. Oh, and pieces and parts flying everywhere, ends up in the water, so at least we know the fire won't spread. All right, we are going to go up to Heat 2 for the 80s Pessima. Will the 80s Pessima be able to beat its current score of 466 meters? And by the way, the way this will work is the vehicles will get to use the farthest distance that they go for moving on, or at least for determining if they get to move on. So let's see how this goes. Oh, I paused that a little too late. So actually this vehicle will get a free turn once again. That was my bad. If there is an operator error situation like we just saw here, that run will get scrapped and they'll get another opportunity. So I'll try to be a little more Johnny on the spot with the pause key. But here we go. Through the uprights. And down we go. See how far this vehicle is going to travel. Bring it in. There it is. Wheels on the ground. And that time got a little further. Not enough to beat the K-Series, but definitely enough to inch past its previous mark. So we're looking at the front of the vehicle again. That's 60. This is 70. So if this is about 65, this would be 7. So I'm going to call that, I'm going to go ahead and call that 8. We're going to call that 460. And really, that's like 468.5. But we're going to call that 468 for its final run of the day. And let's see if that, now we already know that the K-Series has already gone farther than that, but let's just see if that is enough distance for the 80s series. Oh, no, I take that back. I know how a tournament works, man. So we already know that the K-Series has won, but the K-Series is going to go ahead and take its next approach just to add salt to the wound. Can it get a further distance as it travels on down through the air and is about to land? Ooh, oh, that was a little close. Well, let's see what happens here. Oops, I hit twice, but it actually bounced about here, which is about the halfway mark, I would say. So I'm going to call that a 475, basically tying its score, and the K-Series Track Edition will move on to the next round of action here in the Car Jump Arena Championship Series. The question is, will the K-Series face off against the Barstow Dragster or the 200BX Demon? That is yet to be seen, but as we move on, we're going to move into the next set of vehicles here in the Car Jump Arena Championship Series. All right, up next, we've got the Burnside Drag Edition placing third in the preliminary qualification round, and that is the car on the right, and the car on the left is the 200BX Track Edition placing sixth in the preliminaries. And the 200BX, just as a matter of note, the 200BX series is the only series in the entire championship preliminary round to have two vehicles present in the finals. So kudos to the 200BX series, even regardless of where they end up. That is awesome stuff. So we're going to start with the 200BX Track Edition and see how far this vehicle can go. All right, well, it's doing some weird stuff, and that's why we do 2 heats, just in case something weird goes on, but it seemed like it had a bit of a rocky start. Let's send this bad boy flying down. Look at this. What a great run. Oh, we are going to see if it will surpass the 450 mark coming down. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, so there it is. It does get past the 450 mark, and I'm going to call that 455. I mean, that's close enough. So 455 for the first round for the 200BX Track Edition. Oops. Ouch. All right, so that is the first go for the Track Edition. Now, we just saw the K-Series did about 20 more meters than that, so can the 200BX somehow eke out a bigger distance in its next round, or at least if it moves on, will it be able to do enough to beat the... okay, well, that's a bit of a problem. Burnside, hey, do you want to come back and try that again? All right. Well, sometimes they're just here for the show. All right, here we go with the Burnside Track Edition. Let's try that again and not lose control. There we go. We got it. We got it this time. Let's see. Can the Track Edition, can the Burnside Dragster get more than the BX? Oh, he is doing an inversion. Let's see. Let's see if that helps or hurts the distance. Oh, well, there it is. Upside down, nose first into the ground, and is, for all intents and purposes, just shy of that meter of that mark. I mean, technically, that looks like that might actually be over the, nope, just short of the line. Now look at there, not quite a touchdown. So we will call that a 479. So there you go, 479 for the Burnside Dragster on its first run here in the Car Jump Arena Series Championship Finals. All right, so here we go with the 200BX Track Edition. Will the Track Edition be able to pull out anything more than a 479? And for all intents and purposes, it's going to have a 480, which means that it's going to have to somehow gain about 25 more yards flying off the edge. I just don't see that happening, but a good chance anyway for the 200BX. At least, hey, it put on a good show. It gave it ye old college try. It's on the ground, and we are talking about a 450. I'm actually going to say that's more like a 454. I don't believe that quite. Let's see. Let's free cam this a little bit. See if we can. Yeah, see, that's not quite there. So, and really, I'm not even sure that's a 5. That might even be more like a 3. I'm going to call that a 453. So the 200BX Track Edition actually lost some yardage, some meterage. I don't know how you say that. Is that how you say that? Anyway, it lost some distance, and it will not be able to beat the Burnside Dragster. It will end its run here in the championship with a score of 455. Now the Burnside Dragster, just for kicks, gonna send this bad boy back down again for its second heat just to see if it can do any better. Not that that really matters other than bragging rights, but, you know, hey, when you can brag about it, why not? Oh, let's see here. There we go. Crashed. And did he cross the line this time? Let's see. What do the judges say? I'm going to call that. I'm going to call it yes. I'm going to say if I draw a line straight up here, if I draw a line straight up, I believe that fender is over the line. I'm going to give it to him. That is a 480 for the Burnside Dragster. There you go, a 480. Woo! So there we have the Burnside Dragster. Moving on to the next round. The question is, will the Dragster face the Moonhawk Dragster, or will it face the I-Series Nullheart? We'll find out here in just a moment. All right, our next matchup is between the Moonhawk Dragster. On your right, it placed second overall in the preliminary rounds, up against the I-Series Nullheart on the left. It placed seventh in the preliminary round. So let's see if this is any kind of competition at all. First up will be the I-Series Nullheart. Let's see how good this guy can go. How much distance is this going to be able to get, and see if it even has a chance of coming close to the Moonhawk Dragster. I'm frankly gonna guess no, but it'll be fun to watch the Nullheart go plummeting down to the earth anyhow. So here we go. And we barely stopped that in time. The question is, will it get over the 450 mark at all? And yes, it does. Look at that. The tire is down and the front end is over. So there you go. We're going to call that a 451 for the Nullheart. 451 for the Nullheart. Oof. Oh, and up next, we've got the Moonhawk Dragster. We got to see if we can control this beast. It is, it's a little out of control. Again, that's why we have multiple runs, just to see what happens here. But the Moonhawk Dragster is gone, and I believe will be, the first vehicle to test out the new additional markings here on the Car Jump Arena, because holy cow. So let's see here. Where is this going to land? Slow it down a little bit more. There it is. Touchdown. And from the looks of it, well, let's free cam. Let's pull this up and see what we've got here. We've got the car here drawing across. This is about the halfway mark. Now remember, it goes from the center. So really, so this is about the halfway mark. And I would say it's actually a hair past. Let me see what we got here. Is that a hair past that halfway mark? I don't know. I'm thinking it's pretty much on the halfway mark. So I'm going to call that the halfway, and that is going to be 5, 10, 20, 35. 535 meters for the first run of the Moonhawk Dragster. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. And I'm so glad that the officials decided to add in the extra markers, because they knew this competition was going to be far and fierce and furious and frenetic. I don't know. How many F words can I put in? I mean, good F words, people. All right. Okay, up next, we've got the second run here, the second heat for the I-Series Nullheart. Now, it has got to beat 451 if it wants to beat its own distance. And, of course, it's got to beat 535 if it expects to get anywhere close to the Dragster. And we can already see, no, that's not going to happen. So, unfortunately, I don't mean to laugh at the poor dude, but really not even close. Now, the upside is that technically he got a little further than he did before. I guess yeah, I guess for the benefit of the doubt, just to make him feel good, we'll give him a 452. So that's a 452 for the Neilogical here in the BeamNG Car Jump Arena Championship Finals. Not gonna advance. That'll be the end of the road for the Neilogical. And just like we've done with the other vehicles, we're going to go ahead and let... Whoa. Oh, he's out of control. Oh, boy. This is not going to be a good run. So here we go. With an awful start and bouncing off the walls, let's just see, out of curiosity, where the Moonhawk would end up. Right there, so just short. So that would actually be a 519. So a 519, okay, but it won't count. That won't count. Again, not that it matters. The other car's already been eliminated, but just for the sake of checking it out and seeing. All right, so 519 meters with messing up the controls. Yeah, that tells you a lot about this particular Moonhawk vehicle. Holy cow. Crazy distances here in BeamNG Drive. And this time we have a clean run, and it is, there we go. Holy cow. That is going to be 10, 20, 30, pretty much a 35, which is what it had the last time. So it pretty much set itself up for, oops, I'm sorry, hitting the wrong key. That was my bad. I did that. That was operator error. But that is a 535 meter run for the Moonhawk. And so now we know that the Moonhawk dragster is going to face off against the Burnside dragster in the next round of this finals competition. But first, we've got to have one more race here in the Car Jump Arena Championship Series. This is pitting number 1 seeded 200BX Demon on the right-hand side against the 8th seeded Barstow Dragster, who basically just squeaked in to the top 8 to end up in this competition. So kudos are deserved for the Barstow Dragster regardless for getting in to the competition. Congratulations to the GamerGull team for that one. Let's just see how things fare for the Barstow Dragster against the 200BX Demon. Oh, we are out of control. Not good. The the Barstow Dragster out of control. Not going to do well at all. Trying to stop itself. Bounces just after the 50-meter mark. And we are going to have to let this vehicle try it again. Oh. Not skidding to a halt. There you go. All right, let's try that again. All right, here we go. Much better control of the vehicle this time, sending this bad boy flying off of the edge of the jump. Let's see how far it goes. Oh. And crunch. We've got it right there. I slowed it down a little much, actually, but that'll work. That is going to be about a 454. Well, I'll tell you what, the front end there, free cam, let's do it this way. The front end, yeah, front end here, I'm going to call that a 455. We'll give it to it. I don't think it's going to matter. The Demon is a beast. But there we go anyway. So there it goes. So, excuse me. That is a 455 for the Barstow Dragster's first round of action. Now we have the #1 seed in the game, the 200BX Demon, holding down the accelerator, racing down to the end of the ramp, going to put itself through the sparklers, flying off the edge, and let's just see how far this bad boy can fly. Holy smokes, he is gone. Let's see where this puts him. Or her, whatever. But that is, oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to have to free cam this. This is 5, 10, 20, 30. Oh my. I'm going to actually call that about a 530. That's going to be a 532 at the most, I would think. Let's just see here. Remember, it's from the center of the orange, not the edge. So that's kind of a 1. That's a 2. I'm not even sure. I'm going to give it a 2. We'll give it a 2. I'm going to call that a 532. I can tell already that the 2 leading vehicles in this competition are going to be close. This is going to be in a match of meters. It's going to be a game of inches. All right, so we're going to take the Barstow Dragster and we are going to let it have its second run. We already know it's not going to get anywhere close. And actually, I kind of forgot to hit the accelerator. But again, not going to really matter in the scheme of things. This bad boy, although flying decently, is nowhere near 500 meters. So we're going to see here just how far this goes this time. And that is going to be a 453. No, I'm sorry. That's a 5, 6, 7. Yep, I'll call that a 7 because this would be 5 back here, 6, 7. That could be an 8. 5. And divide that in half is 7.5, 8. Yeah, we'll call that an 8. All right, so I'm good with that. We'll call that a 458 for the Barstow Dragster. 458, and that will be its. Oh. And the Barstow Dragster broke the game. Well, I don't know where he went, but okay, there you go. Well, it's a good thing we got that measured then. So there it is. I guess after he decided he lost, he just rage quit. I don't know. Anyway, let's look here at the second run for the 200BX Demon. Now, the Demon has already won. It's already advancing to the next round. But let's just see how far we can get this bad boy to fly. Can it beat the 532 that it had before? Well, let's see where this goes. And it lands there. And, that's close. Let's see if we do it top down. Yeah, I would say actually that's pretty good. That's very close to. I know, don't follow my mouse. I really am looking with my eyes here. But I'd say that's really close to the halfway mark. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a 535. Holy smokes! So that means that the Demon. 535, yeah, and the Moonhawk Dragster both went, or each went 535 meters. Holy smokes, that is crazy. Oh my goodness, we have quite the competition up ahead of us. And here we are in the semifinals for the Car Jump Arena Championship Series. We've got the Burnside Dragster against the Moonhawk Dragster. And I got to tell you, this competition is probably not going to be much of a competition. The Burnside Dragster managed a 480-meter distance in its first round, which would normally sound and be great. However, the Moonhawk completely obliterated the markings on the track, landing at 535 meters. So unless something either amazing happens with the Burnside or something absolutely tragic happens to the Moonhawk, I think we know who the winner is going to be here today. Well, we're going to start with the Moonhawk Dragster. Again, it's already set its personal best distance at 535 meters. So can it beat that distance and set a new Moonhawk record here in the Car Jump Arena Championship Series? Let's find out as it plummets down, lands here, touching down. Let's see what the judges say. Where is that? It's definitely in the 530 zone. If we look at the front end of this vehicle right here and draw that across, again, the middle is the actual line. So that's definitely 5. Somewhere in here is about the 7.5. I would say it's really close to that, depending on the angle, right? I don't think I can quite give it an 8. That is so close. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 7. That is going to be a 537 for its first round here in the Car Jump Arena, as it goes tumbling, twisting, bouncing, just out of control down to the end. It didn't land in the pool, though, so there is that. All right, up next, we've got the Burnside Dragster, whoops, who is out of control. Come on, get back over. Let's see. Off it goes into the distance, and let's just see how far this bad boy goes. Definitely not going to hit anywhere near 500, which really we didn't expect it to, but let's just see. It lands right there, and that is going to be a 470. Fine, free cam. We're going to call that a, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much right in the middle. So we're going to call that a 475 for the Burnside Dragster. So 475. Which is actually about 5 meters shorter, although its start probably had something to do with that. Well, that's why we get another run. However, before we see the Burnside's second run, we're going to definitely take a look here at the Moonhawk's second run. Let's see, can we maintain control? Can we get some little more oomph out of this and make this fly? Can it beat its current distance? Let's find out here in the Car Jump Arena Championship. I know you guys are probably counting how many times I say that word, right? All right, but here it is. We are, okay, we're actually short this time. That is going to be, yeah, that's pretty much right in the middle. So that is going to be a 535, meaning that the Moonhawk advances with a distance of 537, sorry, I keep hitting the wrong key, 537 meters. The Moonhawk makes it to the finals. The question now, what will the Burnside Dragster end up running in the finals for the championship? So far, it has gone 475. Its furthest distance is 480. I'm sure the Burnside team would love to beat its current long distance. Let's find out. Well, That is on the line of the 480, and so therefore that is a 480 for the Burnside team, and that is where it will end up, 480 being the maximum distance that the Burnside Dragster is going to run here in the Car Jump Arena Championship Finals. Wow, we have another match to go to see who will take on the Moonhawk in the finals. I have a pretty good feeling we all know who it is, but let's just find out anyway. And here we are. We are in the semifinals between the 200BX Demon on the right and the K-Series K-Track Edition, the K-Series Track Edition on the left. Now, in the previous round, the K-Series Track Edition managed a 475, and the Demon was 535. So much like the previous semifinal, we've got a pretty good idea who's going to win this thing, but we want to, just in case something crazy happens, we want to know for sure who is going to move into the final round to match off against the Moonhawk Dragster. We're going to kick things off with the K-Series Track Edition. Hit the accelerator. Fly down the ramp. Let's see. Can it get enough speed? And I don't know. Maybe the wing on the back will help with some aerodynamics. Help it fly through the air and get down to where it needs to go. And no, it is not. And I just happened to stop it right about when it landed. So I'm going to count that. Again, doesn't necessarily matter, although it may in determining who is which place, who comes in what. But oh my gosh, but that is definitely going to be halfway through there. But that is going to be a 470. Well, actually, it's just past the halfway mark. Yeah, but it's not quite to a 6, I don't think. Because 5, 6, 7, 8. It may be. All right, it'll be a 6. We'll count it as a 6. 476 for the K-Series K-Track Edition. So technically, it beats itself out by 1 meter. And then there was the Demon. The Demon, who has been absolutely tearing up the Car Jump Arena ever since it entered the competition way back when in the first round of preliminary action. You may or may not even remember. That was so long ago now. But here it is, just absolutely destroying the Car Jump Arena, and there we have, slamming into the ground. We're going to let the operators here take control. Let's see where that's going to sit. We draw the 5. It's not quite a 5. It is more like a 4. But maybe even a 3. 2, 3-ish. I'm gonna count it as a 3. We sure are. So that's a 10, 23. Yep. 33, 533 meters for the Demon for its first heat here in the Car Jump Arena Championship Finals competition. All right, you K6 Series Track Edition vehicle. I don't know what to tell you, buddy, but hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for having a good time. Thanks for doing really well in the competition. It's just that those folks that can go further are really going further. And hey, it happens sometimes. It's just the way it is. So there we have, there we have touchdown. And we're going to call that. That's actually, yep, that's pretty much the halfway mark there. So again, that is a 475 for the K-Series Track Edition. Not enough to win this round, and therefore it has been knocked out. However, its distance was 476. So we'll see how that all pans things out when is all said and done here at the end of the competition. In the meantime, we are going to run the Demons' second run here. It's their second heat, just because. I would really love to see the Demon just somehow eke out just a few more yards. I would love to see somebody hit the 540 mark, just because I think that would be awesome. I just don't think it's going to happen here, but you never know, you know? Oh, that's a little too... And there we go there. Let's see what happens here. Again, that's going to be 530. Let's see if we do like more of an overhead shot here. We take this and draw. If we draw back here, I know I'm curving, but I'm using my eyes here. I don't believe that's far enough to count as a 6. I think that's going to be a 5. So that is going to be another 535 for the Demon, who seems to live right by that 533 to 535 area. So we'll see how that fares as it moves on into the final round. That's right. We've got the Demon versus the Moonhawk. Hey, we want to give a very special shout out to my Patreon supporters, WarHeroesGaming and GamerGull, for donating to the channel, donating to the cause, so I can bring content like this to you guys. Hey, if you're out there and you'd like to do the same, head over to patreon.com/davidinark. I also want to give a special shout out to Neilogical. Thank you so much for mentioning this particular competition in a very recent video that he's got, where he's doing a similar type thing, not quite to this extent, but had a lot of fun doing an automation version of a car jump arena contest. So you can check that out after you see what happens here. Don't leave yet, folks. Stay tuned right here for Car Jump Arena Championship Finals action. All right, before we get to the final round, I know a lot of folks were not happy that we did not include the JTOW bus in the competition. But the reason why, the reason why we did not include the JTOW bus is because without the JTOWs, it was not able to finish the round. It was not able to qualify, and so it was eliminated. With the rockets, as you can see, we don't have enough markers on the ground. Oh, that is crunch time. And I know a lot of folks, they said, you know, hey, the JTOWs come with the bus, therefore they should have been allowed to be used during the competition. But to me, it was the same thing as nitrous with a lot of the other vehicles. They weren't allowed to use nitrous, and so therefore the JTOW bus would not have been allowed to use the JTOW rockets. And so basically we just have an exhibition here from the bus, showing off just how awesome these rockets are when attached to a monster of a bus. Oh, that is beautiful, beautiful stuff here in the car jump arena. Oh, the destruction, the absolute destruction is terrifying. And now we have made it to the final round of the Car Jump Arena Championship Series for the vehicles that come with BeamNG drive. By the way, if you're interested in seeing a different style competition, check out Neilogical. I'll leave a link to the video down in the description. Neilogical did a car jump arena competition using cars from automation. Just went out the same day I'm recording this finals championship. And it is hilarious. It's fun. It is awesome stuff. You've got to check out if you're not already a fan or a subscriber of Neilogical. You've got to run over there. You've got to check out his channel. He's doing some really, really cool stuff. And thanks to Neilogical so much for mentioning this competition in his video. I appreciate that. Much love to Neil and his family out there over at Neilogical. Bringing it back here, we've got the Moonhawk Dragster with a distance in the last round of 537 meters. That's on the left-hand side. You've got the 200BX Demon on the right-hand side, and its longest distance so far is 535 meters. 2 meters separate these two vehicles in action so far up to this point. This is going to be a very, very tight competition. We are going to start with the Moonhawk. The Moonhawk Dragster gets first run, its first leg. Let's see if the Moonhawk Dragster can pull out a bigger distance than we have seen from the car yet in the competition. Off he goes, flying through the air, way past 400, way past 500. And as we come down here, we will see where this vehicle ends up crashing into the ground. And that is going to be, holy cow. Judging from this, I'm actually going to say that is probably a 538. Look at that. That is, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And so here's how I'm calculating that, by the way. I'm looking at where this front end is here. This is the 35 mark. So halfway between that would be 37 and a half. It is beyond that. Here's 538. It's not quite to a 39. So that means that the last point it passed was 38. And so therefore we are going to count that as a 538 for the Moonhawk's first run here in the final round. Now we've got the Demon, and the Demon is going to have to pull one out of the hat in order to eke out those few extra yards to see if it can hit the mark and beat the Moonhawk Dragster. And I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did for the Moonhawk, and that is you'll notice that when I did the Moonhawk, I let it collapse into the ground. So there you go. It's collapsed into the ground. And I'm sorry, the first mark here for the Moonhawk, for the Demon, is way short of where the Moonhawk landed. So although it's a very good run, we're going to call that 0, 1, 2. Let's see, that's 5. I'm going to call that a 3 because I don't believe it's quite at the 4 mark. So I'm going to call that a 3. That is a 533 for the Demon. Whew. That's a whole 5 yards short of where the Moonhawk landed. So I knew it was going to be close, but I didn't realize it was going to be quite this close. And now we have the final heat for the Moonhawk Dragster. Let's see if the Moonhawk Dragster can best its furthest distance of 538 meters as it flies off the end of the car jump arena, falling. Let's see what happens here in the competition. And again, well, I'm just going to stop it right there. That's the nose is touching. I realize some of you are going to be like, dude, you're not using quite the same, measuring sticks for each of them. And I get that. I totally get that. However, this is like not even close. Even if I let the end crumple, it would just make it barely pass. That's really crazy. I don't know what happened there. I mean, for all intents and purposes, that is a 530. And just to show you, okay, so we crunch it. It does move ahead, but still, again, at best a 532. So, okay, you know what? For the benefit of the doubt, sure, why not? We'll give it a 532 for the Moonhawk. Wow, okay, that's actually pretty surprising. I'll have to go back and watch it when I go back to edit this, just to see if I had a rough start and just didn't realize. I don't know. Whatever it was, though, the Moonhawk ends up with a 532. Now, just for that particular heat, remember, the Moonhawk did a 538 already. The 200BX Demon has never even come close to 538. The closest it's come to 538 is 535, and that is, and that was even what I would call, I don't want to say stretching it, but that's, you know, that's giving the benefit of the doubt. So you want to, you know, you got to take that into account as we are looking over this, and as this lands here. So we have the tire touchdown. Now, the tire touchdown, this is going to be a little interesting. Huh. I may have just jinxed myself. So with the tire touching down here, the front end is pretty much, I mean, it's a little past the halfway mark, but we would go back because it's always measured on the mark you just passed over. So that's pretty much a 535 there. If we let the front end crumple, okay, so there's the front end crumpling against the ground, right? That is going to be, well, I'll tell you what, that's more of a 536, 7. I'm going to say 6. It's definitely not up here. So I'm going to say 536 for the Demon, which is the best distance that it's had, but it's just not enough to eke out the Moonhawk Dragster as it flies across the map, across the sand, and actually, will it end up in the pool? No, it doesn't. There you go. It is smoke and mess. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, your Car Jump Arena Championship Series champion. The Moonhawk Dragster is the winner with a distance of 538 meters in the Car Jump Arena. That is spectacular. And what an awesome show here from the Moonhawk Dragster. We're just going to let this bad boy fly down, take a victory jump, see how far it can go. Because, you know, why not? Crunch time. And still not quite. I'll tell you what, that 538 that it grabbed was just a thing of beauty. I mean, holy cow. So there it is, your winner in a heap. The Moonhawk Dragster. Woo! Yeah, awesome stuff. Hope you enjoyed the Car Jump Arena Championship Series using just the vehicles that come with BeamNG Drive. Oh, thank you guys so much for watching. If you got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. And again, thank you so much for joining us here in the Car Jump Arena Championship Series, where the Moonhawk Dragster reigns supreme.